Hello everyone and welcome to my CSU channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Julie Chrisley reveals if marriage will end after release. Julie Chrisley has revealed if her marriage with Todd Chrisley will end after being released from federal prison. The two have been apart since they went to prison. They have both missed out on a lot. Their son's senior year and other big holidays. Some fans feel as though Julie was only arrested by association and did nothing wrong. Now, Julie is probably getting released. Is their marriage going to end? Keep reading to find out. Savannah Chrisley continues to fight. Savannah Chrisley has advocated for her parents and their release since they were convicted. She had to take custody of her two younger siblings, Chloe and Grayson. However, she has done an amazing job and has stepped up to be there for them. Regardless, she will not stop fighting to get her father freed as well. Savannah is relieved that her mother will get to come home. However, this is only the beginning, and they will continue to fight for Todd's release. Julie will probably get to return home this summer, and it will be just in time to help Grayson through his freshman year of college. There have been some rumors that Todd and Julie Chrisley will end their marriage after getting out. There are also rumors that Todd fears his wife will find someone else. However, this is not the case, and Julie plans to stick by his side. An attorney for their family has spoken out saying the two have. This has brought the two of them closer, if anything. They have had to have their marriage go through the worst of ups and downs. The attorney also went on to say this about the two. It seems that Julie has no plans of leaving her husband. She has been there with him through thick and thin. There is no way she is going to leave him now. Julie will fight for her husband's release alongside her attorney and her daughter. Fans are glad to see Julie go home. She has missed out on a lot for her children, and she can help take back over the parenting role. The soft hum of the fluorescent lights echoed through the visitation room as Julie Chrisley sat at the table, palms pressed flat, breathing deeply. This was her last interview before her long-awaited release, an exclusive conversation with a trusted family friend, someone who had stood by her through the storm. Julie, the interviewer said gently, leaning forward. There's one question America has been asking, and I know you've thought it through. When you go home, when you walk out of these walls, will your marriage survive? Or is this the end for you and Todd? Julie swallowed hard. She had prepared herself for this moment, but hearing it out loud still felt like a punch to the chest. For nearly 2 years, she and Todd, once inseparable, had been living parallel lives across prison walls. Limited phone calls, delayed emails, surveillance at every step. The marriage that had once been built on playful banter and ironclad partnership had become quieter, more fragile, but also strangely more honest. She folded her hands, her voice soft but steady. I'm not ending my marriage, she said. But the world needs to understand that Todd and I are not the same people we were when we came in here. The interviewer blinked, stunned by the raw emotion in her voice. Julie continued, her southern cadence mixing warmth and sorrow. Prison breaks you down. Not just your body, your spirit, your pride, your certainty. There were days I felt like I didn't know myself. And if you don't know yourself, how can you promise you know someone else? She stared at the thick pane of glass across the room, beyond which the cold November sky hung low, heavy and gray. I love my husband, she said after a moment. Deeply. Fiercely. But love doesn't look the same after you've been stripped of everything that made your life make sense. She explained that in the early months, she clung to Todd's letters like lifelines, every page filled with bold proclamations, meticulous plans, and the familiar bravado that had carried the Chrisley empire for years. But the tone shifted as time passed. Todd became quieter, more introspective. In some letters, he apologized for things she didn't even know hurt her. In others, he spoke of faith with a desperation she had never heard before. It scared me at first, she admitted, because it felt like we were changing in separate directions, not together. The interviewer asked gently, So, are you saying the marriage is in trouble? Julie smiled sadly. It's been in trouble since the day we were sentenced. But that doesn't mean it's ending. She leaned forward, her voice gaining strength. What people don't understand is that Todd and I were partners long before we were reality stars. We survived bankruptcy, lawsuits, family fractures, things no one ever knew about. But prison? Prison forces you to confront the ugliest parts of yourself. There were nights, she said, when she questioned everything: her marriage, her faith, her purpose. Nights when she felt lost and wondered if Todd felt the same. Nights when she asked herself if it was fair to return home and expect their marriage to snap back into place. But what I know now, she said, is that survival changes people. And Todd and we've been surviving in different worlds. The interviewer nodded. So when you walk out those doors, what happens next? Do you reunite and rebuild? Or do you take time apart? Julie exhaled deeply. I'm walking back into my marriage with open eyes, not blind hope. She explained that she and Todd had agreed, after many emotional letters and 2 particularly difficult phone calls, to give each other space once she was released. Not separation, not divorce, but breathing room. Time to learn who they had become. We're not getting divorced, she emphasized, her voice firm. Let me be absolutely clear about that. But I may not be moving back into the exact same life I left, and he won't either. She described how much she missed her children, especially Savannah, who had practically carried the world on her shoulders. She missed the smell of her own kitchen, the comfort of folding her own laundry, the freedom to choose her meals. She wanted to rediscover motherhood, independence, and her own identity before stepping back into the role of Todd's partner. And Todd needs to work through his own emotions, she added. He hides it well, but he's hurt. He's angry. He feels betrayed by the system, by people in his inner circle, maybe even by God. We both need healing, and healing doesn't happen when you pretend everything is the same. The interviewer grew quiet, letting Julie own the moment. So, she said slowly, you're saying the marriage will survive, but it won't go back to the old version of itself? Julie smiled for the first time, a real, soft smile.
Exactly.
We're choosing each other, but we're choosing each other differently. She described how she imagined her first days home, quiet mornings on the porch with coffee, a long bath in her own tub, holding her children without a guard watching, breathing air that didn't taste like metal. Somewhere inside those quiet moments, she hoped she would begin to find the pieces of herself she lost. And when Todd came home, eventually they would rebuild. Not from habit, not from obligation, but from choice.